as Dash of Dave. He'll take some scraps and bits of this, turn them into something you can't miss. Junk journals, tapes, and crafts galore. He'll have you begging, show me more. Oh, Dash of Dave, oh, what a sight. Mixing colors, day and night.
Hi everyone, it's Dash of Dave here, and I am back for another crafty video. So, today we are going to do some more on the folio that I was kind of prototyping, building with you. I think we left it with, I wasn't sure whether I wanted to put a middle page in here, and I still don't know. I'm kind of erring on, I think I might, just because it just gives me a bit more flexibility to put, just even if you're just using it to break up the, you know, the pages so that they're not flipping out and flipping all over the place and flipping, I don't know, flipping egg, I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to cut some of this down, some more some more file folder, Dave. That's what you're trying to call it. So, and I'm just going to cut this out, and I'll then talk about where and what and my reasons. So yes, I think I'm going to put it so in the middle here. So when this closes, I think I'm going to have a kind of page just here. So I've got plenty of space in there. Now I was thinking that if I did put it in there, would it make it too bulky? But I'm not sure it will, because I think I want it to have a feeling of like a dossier where it's crammed full of stuff, and I'm going to have some way of fixing it together. Still not 100% sure on that. I think I might go for what I said before and having like a pocket that kind of hangs off the edge and wraps round, and it has a kind of a hole punch in it, and you can tie from there. I don't know whether I'm going to bring it round the other side as well. The only reason why I'm not sure about the other side is because it may interfere with the spine. I mean, like, you know, I really don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about, let alone what I'm doing there. I'm not even sure which way around those two are going to go. Think like that, actually. So yeah, so I think we'll get the pocket on the back with the overhang. We'll make a decision about the other overhang. I think we might cut it so that it does have it and decide whether we're going to put it on. But we'll also put this other page in. So that's the thing I really want to get done today, is get this other page in place. So I can't, because I haven't touched it for a week, I can't remember how big this is. So this is, it stands at 9.5. This crow is always here. So it's Cheryl Crow. If you're not from the UK, you probably won't know who Cheryl Crow is, but she's a singer anyway. So I've called it Cheryl, so because of Cheryl. Oh, shut up, Dave. Talk about flogging a dead horse or flogging a spare blackbird. So do I want it the full height, or do I want it to be shorter than the page, I think I'm going to go for 9 inches, which is only a ½ an inch shorter than the whole thing, but I think I'm going to go for 9 inches. So, and then how wide is it? How deep is your love? I think I sing this every time. How deep is your love? I really need to know, 'cause we're living. I certainly can't hit a note that the Bee Gees can. So somebody will come and hit me if I try and hit that note. So it's about 5.5. So I'll cut it to 5. No, I can't cut it to 5.5 inch wide because I need some way to attach it. Right, let's do the 9 inches high first. Yeah, let's cut that on here. So this is the file folder that I had that was, you remember, it was ripped, and I decided I wasn't going to use that in the end. So we're going to use this for this now. It's also ripped on this end, so we'll cut it from this end. We'll go for 9. and then we'll keep that because obviously that's all good file folderiness. And I think we might as well make use of the gusseted bit at the bottom. So if I fold that up and yeah, cut the excess off there. So there's 2 gusseted bits. I don't need both of them. So I'm going to cut one off from the score line. And this is the thing, when you're prototyping, is you should just go with your first ideas. You know, I've kind of forgot that I was prototyping with you when I was making this, because normally I would come to you with a very refined idea and you know, an idea of where we were going to go with it, and this time I was letting it be just a bit more freeform. But I do have to remember that I am letting it freeform, but I've got the camera on for a change. And that's why it kind of, you know, isn't coming naturally to me. But I'm just going to put everything into it that I think, and then that's how I would work with a prototype, is I would put everything in that I think. I can always take it out on the final edit. The final edit. What did I say that was? That is, yeah, 5.5. So if I go 5.5 from where this is folded up, that will be sufficiently wide enough. And then I will also put a tabbed edge to this. I'm really enjoying the fact that it's got so multi-tabbed. It's not multifaceted, it's multi-tabbeted. Tabitha. I can't wiggle my nose like Tabitha could. She was the, what was that? What was the Bewitched? I used to love that as a kid. That program, Bewitched. Do 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 do. Oh yeah, did you? I was thinking. I can't remember. Did I actually use an inch, or did I use just the width of the ruler as the? Oh, I used the width of the ruler because I was obviously feeling very lazy. I mean, I guess other people know what I'm talking about when I say Bewitched. Please don't leave me hanging. Please don't tell me that I'm the only one in the room that's old enough to remember that. We'll go for one. Let's go for one that's quite near the top. So yeah, I'm going to go like really quite close to the top, and I can't remember how big I went for. Oh, I think I've had multi different sizes, or have I? What's that? 4.5. What's that? Oh, that's 4.5 as well. Did I measure these? I can't remember measuring them. I didn't. No way did I measure them. Measure? Eyeball? I'm going for more of that, which is what? 2.5. Let's go for 2.5. 2.5. I had that as my screensaver for many years when I had a computer. You know when like you used to have a computer with a cathode ray monitor, big chunky monitor, and that was my. So every time the screensaver kicked in, it'd play doo-doo, and she'd fly around the screen. Oh, those are the days. But you know, I loved it. I loved it when like computers were just computers, and that's what all they did. You know, you switched them on. They took 3 hours to warm up. Then you'd have to connect to the internet, which would take another 3 hours after it had gone. You know, made all the twiddly noises of connecting to the internet. That noise that no person under the age of, well, under the age of what, 30 would know. About 35, I'm sure. I don't even know whether Vic would know what that sounded like. Oh, I've cut that down too far now, Dave, because you weren't paying attention. Oh well, it's rectifiable in some ways. Yeah. Don't even know whether Vic would know what that sounds like. He's in his mid-30s, so... but you know what I mean. The whole sending fax sound thing, you know, let's face it. How many people would know what a fax was? So, again, I'm showing my age. So, shut up, Dave. Where is it? Where is it? Shut up, Dave. You did it for a reason, and then you can't even follow your own rules. Oh yeah, I want to cut this off into a rounded corner, don't I? But I'm not going to get my corner rounder on there. Corner rounder even on there. I'll just do it freehand. Cut it off. Let's do the actual corner rounder on there. And then we'll sit that into here. Yeah, the printer at work, I mean, it's a brand new printer. It's, you know, it's only made in 2025, so that's how brand new it is. It's one of those multi-copier printer, scanner, you know, I don't know what else it can do. Probably can do all sorts of things that I didn't even know about, so, oh, I should have rounded that bit off. Oh well, do it now. But yeah, even that still says fax on it. Like, who the heck faxes these days? Oh, now the problem is I don't have any space to be able to stick my fingers in there to get it to glue down. I don't want it to move too much. This is why these kind of things should have gone in first, Dave. Oh no, that's alright, that's not too bad, that's not wonky at all. So we'll pop that in there. So I know that's given us extra pages that probably we didn't need, but it is a prototype, and this is when we can find out what works, what doesn't work. So yes, I like that. I like the way that has come together. I like the way you can see the multiple layers. We've still got that as a tuck, haven't we? Yes, we have. So let's get these bits out of here. Obviously kept them for various things on here. So let's think about this back bit. We could do with... Oh, I don't know whether I want that piece. I mean, it's big enough. It's big enough and ugly enough to look after itself. Don't know. No, maybe another piece. Let's see what else I've got. No. We need another piece. A piece de resistance. The piece de resistance. I know that's not what it means before anybody comes at me. I'm not sure what it does mean, but I know it doesn't mean that. So, oh, actually, I've got another one of them here, haven't I? Yeah, I have. Yeah. So, let's put that on there. Is that wide enough? Do I want it to be more hangy over? Yeah, I'm going to cut this down this way. Again, cut this bit down the middle. And then I'm hoping that, you know, we'll come up with some... Oh, Dave, don't skip. I nearly slipped and the blade nearly came towards my fingers, not on the edge of the ruler, Dave. I'm hoping that from this we'll get a nicely formed idea, and we'll have a bit more of an idea of about what we would do next time. So did I cut that straight last time? I don't know whether that edge is straight. That edge should be straight. I've cut that on that line, but that doesn't mean anything, does it? Oh yeah, it's not looking too bad. I think I must have cut it straight. Yeah, okay, so let me... Which edge am I going to use? Let's use this top edge because it doesn't have that folded gusset on. So how deep is your love, Dave? Every time is not funny. It's not funny, Dave. It's not funny. Should we go 4.5? 4.5 is, so it's 9.5 long. That leaves us 5, so I prefer the proportions of having a shorter pocket than I do the empty space, you know, so it's just fractionally smaller. I think 4 might be too small. Let's go 4.5. And because we're cutting it this way, we can't put it on the trimmer because this way it's too tall. So I'll have to use the board. We'll need a line that I can. So if we use the 10 line, we'll go a little bit further up so I can see the bottom edge better. Move that out of the way. So let's use this, and we'll say, okay, so maybe that isn't straight, that line. No, it's not. So let's get the line straight first. Let's do that bit. So if we put that on that line, and that on that line, and we'll cut this bit straight. That's not going to be long enough. Let's get the long ruler. I might have to move out of the way because otherwise it'll jab me in the ribs. Yeah, let's get that bit straight, and then we'll be able to work better with a straight line. That should cut off because the blade is fairly new. It's not dulled or anything. Pop that on there. Up there. There you go. Cool. So let's go back to this. So we said we were going to have it on this line. Still didn't cut that very. Oh yeah, just that bit that I missed. Move that out of the way. So we really should have kept that ruler out, shouldn't we? So on this line, that line, and we said, what did we just say? 4.5, didn't we? Yeah, we did. 4.5. So let's go 4.5. So that will be 14.5 because this is sitting on the 10 line. So 14.5 is there. And there. And we'll cut that down. And that gives us a fighting chance of that bit being straight now and being able to be used for something else. Cool. I can go back up there this time. Hopefully it can go back up there and stay up there this time. Right. So this is, yeah, so I've got plenty of space to play with this. Now I certainly don't want them to cross over across the middle. Do I? When I say I don't, I mean, do I? Do I want, is that right? Let's just think about this. Do I want it as a pocket? So let's just use this piece for a minute. Do I want it as a pocket across the back? Or do I want it as a shallow pocket and then a band across the middle that is also kind of part of the pocket but there's a gap in the middle? I want it to look quite utilitarian. I think that might be a bit more different. So whilst I've cut this and I've put that ruler away, I'm going to cut it again. But no, let's think about how big we want this. How much of this do we want this to fold round? And what do we want to do with the bit in the middle? Do we want to have it as two bits that flap over and tie? We'll have the pocket as a pocket on the back. And the bit that flaps over, let's do that and I'll put this ruler back. This ruler just thinks that I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. Well, you know, you're not too wrong, ruler. So I'm going to make it easy on myself. Make it easy on yourself. If I go with that there, and then this is the width at which I'm going to have my band. All that's left is a band of gold. All that's left of the dreams I hold is a band of gold. You are. That could also be, actually, is that kind of, maybe we could use that as the band. Is it a similar sort of size? It is. It's a similar sort of size. It's a little bit smaller, a bit shallower. I mean, it's not. That's not straight. Something's not straight. Could be me. could be it. It's definitely not me that's straight. Right, let's come down. I know you're thinking, what on earth? He's changed his mind that many times. It's a prototype. Remember, we're kind of prototyping as we go. And this is how it works. So this is how I want you to be if you're prototyping something. Just be free. Everybody is free to feel good. Oh, I can't get it off. There we go. Panicking. Can't get it off the thing, but I could. Shut up, Dave. So, where are we now? Well, we're definitely still here. It's definitely still in Batley. Okay. If I have that as a shallow pocket at the bottom, then whatever I tuck into it, there'll be a gap because there'll be another. Let's do that. Let's show you what I mean. So this will be part of the pocket, but you'll see the middle bit here. So whatever we put in there needs to be big enough to go all the way down it. Yeah, so let's cut that to the right width because that's going to be our back pocket. So that's going to be, what did we say this was? I keep forgetting, 5.5. Let's go 5.5 on that. Is that wide enough? It is. That's weird, isn't it? It doesn't look wide enough. And we're going to guess a divot. Guess the divot. Who are you calling a divot? I want to guess the divot. Yeah, I'm going to guess the divot. We're going for utilitarian, Dave, so you can guess anything you like. Is that in the middle? I've moved it like a fraction of an inch, but yeah, so that's going to go there. Move that out of the way. And then this is the thing that we're going to wrap. It's a wrap. So we want it to be across here. So we know we're going to have to score line. How much do we want? So we want it to come round. I think it needs to look like a tab. That's because it's all going to look like a tab, isn't it? We have two tabs either side. They can kind of tie together. Do we want it to cross over? And you have a tab and you have like a Velcro tab. Do I do it initially like that and then change it at a later date? So let's find the middle of this. 14.5. Did I just cut that to 14.5? Can't remember. And then get a pencil. Pop that on there. Half of 14 is 7. So it's. Do I want to go for an about? Yeah, let's go for an about there. So 7.25 is half of 14. It's about there. And then what we'll do is we'll put it on here, and that'll give us the exact middle. So 7.25. Yeah, that's fine. So we want to have 5.5 from this. So 5.5 between this spacing. So. But we also need to know, we need it to be about 1/8 of an inch wider. So this might not be perfectly in the middle by then. So let's go, what's half of 2? Oh, sorry, what am I doing, Dave? I have no idea. Who am I? I don't know. What's half of 5 is 2.5. That's what I was thinking. Let's write this down. Jot it down somewhere, 2.5. Should we write it down so that I can actually see it, Dave? That might be a good idea. It's 2.5. Okay. So half of 5.5 is 2.5 plus 1/4. So that's 2 3/4 is our middle line of that. So if we go 2 3/4 this way, so that's a quarter, and then 2/4, 3/4, and then we go 1 2. So we're going to put a line there. Why am I marking it like that? I could just be doing it, couldn't I? I'm going to do there, but then we want to go 1 2 3/4, and then 1 2, but we want to go 1/8 over to account for the sitting round those folded bits, and we do a score line there, and we put that fold in, try and make it nice and straight, put that fold in and make that one nice and straight, put that in. Oh, no, I haven't done the gusset, which I've forgotten about. So how wide have we got here? So we're going to go for this same width here, which is 1/2 inch. So again, we're going to go 1/2 inch. Get this board back. Stick this on here. So where's my thing? We go for 1/2 inch. Is that going to sit around it? Where's that line? There, that's the 1/2 inch. Do we want to go for an 1/8 of an inch over? Yeah, let's go for an eighth of an inch over. My ability to speak has been lost, not that I ever had it, but. And then we've got that sits on the 10 line, so we're going to go for 1/2 inch and then plus 1/8 that way. Okay, so now we're going to put that in, that fold in, and that fold in, and then hopefully you will get an idea about what I'm doing. I've got this now that should sit round and hold round the back. So I'll put this on the back, and then this should sit round all of that, which it does. That's fine. So it sits round there perfectly. It is a little bit of a gap, but you know, we've got this step up, which will also help with. We can also roll that, so we could put another couple of score lines in. In fact, let's do that. Just to help it sit better, if we put this on here and then we'll do an 1/8 that way, and then an 1/8 this way, and maybe another 1/8 that way, and that'll give us a kind of a rolled line. We put all of those score lines in. There, and then put those in, and that'll give us kind of a rolled edge that means that it'll then sit around anything, any kind of bulk you give it. It's not going to suddenly then bend in a new place that you weren't expecting it to. Like that, and you've got like this rolled bit here, so that it kind of can bend in on any of those that you've just scored in. And I will put those in. Did it on that side? No, it didn't. So again, we're going to do, that's that line, so we're going to go an 1/8 that way, and then an 1/8 that way, and put those lines in. So there, should really be, there we go, and then that one there. You kind of just have to manipulate it a bit with your fingers to get it to fold on that, because it'll just naturally want to fold on the other folds that are already in existence. Get rid of that. Oh, hello. So then pop that on there, and then that should then sit more around that. And I've got to remember, at the moment it doesn't sit perfectly on this edge because it's not full of anything. I might actually roll this side a bit more that sits like that. That sits like that. Yeah, so this one, I think that needs a few more rolls in it. So it's a bit like me, it needs a few more rolls in it. No, it doesn't need any more rolls in it. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't need any more rolls in it. That's what I'm saying. Sorry. Just in case my doctor's listening. Not adding rolls, I promise you. My rolls slowly but surely disappearing since I have turned a corner on my... Where's that other line I've just put? I'm sure I put another line in there. I did. Oh, I've just scored the line that was already there, Dave, you idiot. And that one, that's your final. It's the final vinyl. The final Lionel. That's the other one I didn't get scored in. There we go, that one. Okay, so that should now give us that. Yeah, that's, oh, that sits nicely around there now. That's perfect. So I think for now we'll leave it as an overlap. So one of the things we could do is we could have it so that it was a shorter tab this side, so it sticks out to about here, and the same with that, and we tie it in the middle. Or we could have a single overhang and have it threaded through, and you tie it round and tie it against itself. Or we can have it so that it looks like two file folder tabs that cross over and are secured via Velcro. So at this moment in time, I will shape it to be as though it's secured by Velcro. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to put those two together. In fact, I could put them on separately, couldn't I? I could have them as a different colour. Yeah, let's do that for now. So we will stick that on, and we can say, well, we can always cut it down if we don't want it there. So I'm going to stick that down and make that in. Right, okay, I'll get rid of the pencil line off it as well. So, well, I will do if I can find that rubber. Where's the rubber gone? There. Right, put that over there. Rub that line out. This is not the best rubber in the world. I don't know where the other one is. So, I don't know. It's somewhere. Right, which one's the one with the rolled edge? That's that way. So we could do with having an idea of where we're going to put that. Do we want it in the middle, or do we want it higher up? I guess if we're putting it on, we really should go for trying to get it in the middle. What? Throw it away, Dave. It's 2. Oh, it's about 2. I think it's 2 one end and not the other. Oh, no, it's a little bit over 2. It's 2 1/4. No, not even 2 1/4. 2 1/8. So the middle of this is 4 3/4, because half of 9 1/2. 4 3/4, that's the middle, and 4 3/4. And then we want 1 1/32. That standard measurement over that side, and 1 1/32 over that way. Is that right? 1 1/32 is 2 1/8, isn't it? Yeah. 1 and then we'll do that. Where's that line there? 1 1/32 is there, and then from there 1 1/32 is there. So if I join those top and bottom lines up, you can see them, Dave. That'd be useful. Let's just put that there. That's not in the same place. Oh, it is. It's all right. I was thinking that's not in the same place, but it is. I was looking at the wrong marking. And then we do that line to that line. And then that should sit across there. Which one's the rolled edge? That's that one. That should sit within those lines. Which it does. Excellent. Oh, good. Oh, good. That's good. I like that. Right, okay. So because we're going to have it as a band that's tuckable, lineable, we're going to put glue on the very edge of this, but just after that line, after that score line. We'll put the score line in. And we will commit to gluing that. So we'll glue that, and we will glue a little bit, so just a line down the folded bit, the folded panel, so that it sticks to that edge. Do I want that? No, I don't. Don't want that, because it's going to interfere with it opening otherwise. Yeah, you're not going to see that anyway. So, and then this side up to there, we want a line. Right, okay, now I've turned it around that many times, can't remember which side I need that to be on. That side. So, in between those lines, there, and there, don't we? But we want it further down, because it needs to be in between the lines, Dave, there. So I think that is right. Oh no, what? What's gone on here? Why is it moving? Oh, there we go. If we just push that down there on that edge, and push that down on that edge, I have to go inside to do that. So, yeah, so that's our band. Have we got? Is it secure? Is it stuck down? It is. Has it moved a little? I think it might have done, but actually that needs to be refolded for some reason. Oh well, that's fine. So that's our rolled edge, that's fine. That means it's got a bit more give on it, so it's got a bit more roll to it. So this one's the one that's just got a couple of rolls on it. And then we will put that on the bottom of there. So just do either side first. Now again, no, I haven't done any inking on this. It might be one of the first times that I don't ink it. I think somebody challenged me. It might have been Jen that challenged me to that, to do something that wasn't super inky. This might be the thing. I'm not promising you though, Jen. So just putting it out there. Okay, so that's what we've got now. Is we've got these bits that open up like this, and then so let's do this. So these, not sure how we're going to make the thing, whether we're going to tab it. I am kind of more inclined to put a Velcro on it. So I might do the Velcro thing. Then you'll peel it open and this opens. Then you've got this bit that opens up at the front, and we've got a pocket. Sorry, keep that open. Then this opens up more like this. Then we've got another bit that opens up here. There. Then we've got another page. Then we've got another bit that opens up here. And yeah, and then we've got this tuck on the back. So I think that is kind of where we are with the whole document thing, and I think now it's a case of making it into a beautiful work of art. So I think, you know what I think I'm going to do? I think this is the time. Hold your breath, people. I think this is the time when we're going to use this. I think we're going to cut some panels from this to go on this. So, Tracy, this is for you. This is dedicated to you. Because Tracy sent, as you know, I will link Tracy's video. So, well, I say I'll link Tracy's video. I might have to just write that down because otherwise I'll forget. I'll go, what? What did I say I was going to do? You said you were going to link Tracy's video. Link Tracy's video. So when I say Tracy's video, video. It's not a video that she's done. It's a video of the crafty stuff that she sent me. So all of these things, all these lovely tags and tabs and ink daubers and boxes and loads of the Edith Holden Country Diary pages that were already out. So these were already out of the book, so I felt I was able to use them. So I'm going to use these on here to make this a bit more interesting. Now, will I ink the edges or not? I don't know. But I do think this is where we're going to take these from. So this was the reason why it was bulldog clipped together, just so I knew where it was. So I think we can fully utilize all of these beautiful things in here, and we could. Wouldn't that be nice? That'd be nice if we could do. Let's see. If I could have this on the front somehow, so we can see Nature's Notes. This would be perfect as well, because what I want is to have a border around it. So this doesn't fully cover it. It has a border around so that we can see the file folder underneath. So maybe that's where we're going to go from, and we'll put that on here. So I'm definitely going to have Nature Notes across the front. Now, do I have it so that this Nature Notes sits across this bit? I don't know. So that is definitely going to be the front bit. What do we want on here? So I think we should go with a nice picture that isn't perhaps one of the months of the year. So when I say by the months of the year, they all have this title page of the month of the year. The reason why I'm thinking not that is because I think at the start of the year, start of next year, 2026, can you believe it? 2026? Where on earth has that gone? I'd like to do some kind of a Nature Notes book and fully utilise the months of the year in it. So maybe have it as a diary style book. So it's got, you see, there's February there. But, so let's find a nice picture that we could perhaps use for the front. I really want a nice... So I think we might have to go for something in the summer period, because they tend to be the more beautiful pictures, because this is spring, and we've got springy things in spring. Funny that. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? That's a nice big picture. We've got May. That's quite nice. I quite like the birds on that. We like. Oh, that's nice. That's a strong contender. It's not taking any pages out. Oh no, it's fine. Let's go for that maybe. Or this. Took this page out. Is that taking anything? No, it's not taking one of the title pages. So we could go for maybe that. Let's fold it back that way so we know what we're thinking. So possibly that. That's a June, that's a title page. Quite delicate. Not that much different from that one. It's just yellow. Whilst I like it, it's just yellow. That's just one-sided though, isn't it? It tends to be more on one side than it is on the other. July. It's quite nice. That's nice. Maybe August is the month. Maybe August is the month because that's my birth month. So although I do like that, that's nice. But if I took that out, is that going to take away a title page? No, it isn't. So that's a contender. And obviously the contenders that haven't got used are going to be used in some way in it. It's not the one. I might have to have August on the front. So, oh, it's a pretty birdie. But if I cut, I think I'd probably end up cutting him down, and would we even see him? There's a lot of empty space at the top, so maybe not that one. Maybe not August then. Right, okay, I'm not going to bother looking more then. You're not going to you're not going to play and give me something nice in August. Are those rose hips? Oh, they're berries. Oh, no, don't eat them. They're woody nightshade. So I think that's a family of the member of the deadly nightshade family. Don't eat them. Oh, could have some fungi. He looks like a fungi. The fungi might be nice. It could be a nice change, couldn't it? Because we normally put pretty pictures. Let's go for nature notes. We'll start with that page. This doesn't take away anything, does it? No, it doesn't. Right. Let's bundle those back together. And I think we're going to do that front page. And at least, whether we get it on or not, let's get it on. Because we could at least decide how it's going to go. So I'd like the majority. So I think it's going to go that way round. So this opens up first and then there's this. Do you know what? Do you know what I could do? Do you know what? We've got another one here. Yes, I know. There's a bit of an obsession goes on here. So I could use that same picture, couldn't I? I don't know why this one is not bulldog clipped together. I think it has been. Who are you calling a has-been? I think it has been, but I've taken it apart. Stick all those bits back in there because they'll all get used at some point. I think what I've done, because this looks like it's come off there, I could pop that back on there. And there we go. That is now bundled back together again. So what I could do is use both of these to reunify it if I cut it. And what do I mean by that? I don't know. Don't ask me. It's not like I'm talking with any kind of informed vision here. I'm just talking out of my ear like normal. What I mean is, so it will look like a full picture like this, and then when you open it up, it's still a full picture. Well, it's still the bit that you've cut away for this. Does that make sense? Probably not. So I know it's the right height. I now need it to be the right width, and the width is slightly different because it's not the width of the full. Do I go for the full width? Because that green is still going to be there, isn't it? Yeah, let's go for the full width for the time being. So we're going to go for 5.5 wide, but we want to have the main part of the picture. So the way to do that is use this. Let's turn it around the right way. So if we are having 5.5 from this edge, 5.5 is going to go to here, this line here. So let's just put that on there so you can see what I can see. Can you see what I see? I think it's do you see what I see, but there you go. Never mind. I think like that. In fact, I think that is perfect. So if I do that, hang on, let's turn it round so I can see that top edge. Get out the way. Right, I want to put that up to the top. Should we just go for it? Am I just going for it? Actually, I think that's a bit far over. Oh no, of course, that's where it's not this line, is it? It's the 5.5 inch line, which is there. I think it might need to go a bit more that way. It might say ode stool at the top, but yeah, that's what we're going to do. The 5.5 inch line is there. Just clips off the edge of that mushroom, whatever it is. I mean, I know it's a mushroom, but like whatever type of mushroom, I don't know what it is. So yeah, we're going to do this. So we're committing. I'm just going to cut my edge off here, and then we'll go to the 1/2 inch line, which is there. It doesn't have to be. As long as that bit goes up to there, that bit goes up to there, and then we can cut this bit off. And that should then sit on there, which it I don't know whether it does it? Do you know what? I think it's too wide now. Why is it too wide? How have I done that, Dave? That's because it's not. It's 5 and what are we on? What's that line? I don't know what line that is there. These metric numbers kill me. Oh, sorry, not metric. Imperial numbers kill me. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 5 3/8 of an inch. Well, of course it would be, wouldn't it? Why would we not? Why would it be? Okay, so the best thing to do is to cut 1/8 of an inch off, isn't it? Yeah, let's cut 1/8 of an inch off. We'll cut 1/8 of an inch off that side. Is that kind of right? Does that look right? Yep. Pressure's on now to get it right. So, put this back in. Okay, so we are going to put that on there. Right, that looks a bit better. That sits in there, doesn't it? Sort of does. I think it needs to be, yeah, maybe 1/8 smaller again, because remember we still wanted a border. So which side do I take 1/8 off? I'm going to take 1/8 off here, and I'm going to eyeball it this time rather than actually doing it properly. Don't think that's quite 1/8. Yeah, we're going to go for that. Might regret it, but I might not as well. No, that's fine. So we're going to have that on there. And we are going to cut it wherever this join, wherever these crossover, which is there. And there. I want to join those two lines up, but I don't want to do it like that, do I? Because I want to do, let's just do a pencil line. Right, put a pencil line in. I'm just going to do a very faint pencil line because I want to be able to remove it. Tell you what, why don't you do a faint pencil line that you can actually see? I think that would be a good idea. Try again. Bit harder. There you go. Much better. Okay. Then we want a line that is the width of the ruler, which is good in some ways because we used a ruler width, because I can do that. But we only want that for this tab bit, so we're going to come down as far as where the tab will come to. Yeah, and then we want to, so shall I cut this piece to be exactly the same? But I'm not going to need anything from this side. Right, I want to then, in that case then, because I'm not going to need anything this side, let's marry this up. And try and not move it, Dave. Because it might not be the same. Might not be the same placing on the page for the printing. But if I marry this up on here, then it will be the same. Depends on how accurate the printing is, doesn't it? So if I do that down there, so I'm going to cut that off, and then that's going to be my other page, and then they should overlap but still be visible when you open it. If that makes any sense. I don't know. I don't know what the technical term for that is. Magic. That's what it's called. It's called magic. We'll just leave it at that. I'm happy with that. Are you happy calling it magic? Well, can't hear you anyway, so it doesn't matter. And then we do this line here. But what I'm going to do is, because I'm only going to see everything that's from the middle, that side, for this panel, I'm going to save the toadstool bit at the top. And then I will just replace it. Oh, Dave, don't use a bloody horrible rubber that doesn't rub out. Use one that's nice. That is vile. I'm going to get rid of that damn thing. I hate it. This one's better. Yeah, that's nice. It's even rubbed away all the dirty mark that the other one left, so that's great. Okay, so I'm going to leave that intact. So I'm just going to cut that off, I think. Because I want to use that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to replace that onto this one, but just moving it over. So I'm trying to decide if I'm going to need any of this at the bottom. Possibly I might do, so I'll leave it in place. So then what we'll do is we'll pop that in there. I'll have that in the right sort of place. So it's in the right place. And then I will just trace round that. And then what I have to remember is I'm going to cut it a little bit shorter than that pencil line. So I'm going to cut it more this side of that pencil line so that I've still got that same kind of border around the edge. If that makes any sense. That's not the best way to do it, Dave. What you need to see, you need to cut to the side that you need to see the line. So I'm going to go in here, and you know, consequence of this is this could go wrong, but equally it could go right, and I could be very happy with it. At the end of the day, I've got some more. I've got some more of these. Like, you know, might teach me a lesson, and tell me that I should just use these without fear, or it might teach me the other lesson, and that's that I'm not doing that again. I've just wasted that book. I'll then cut that down there. So that, hopefully, think you've got your fingers crossed now. Give me a thumbs up if I deserve it for this bit, getting to here. And that should go on there and should then sit inside that, which it does. It does need a little bit of a more rounding there, but you know, I'm not mad at it. Like, I'm taking a fraction off here. Stuff that probably you wouldn't even see, so. And then the same with that bit there, just change the shape of that a little bit. There we go. Oh, I love it. Right, so that's going to sit in there. It does mean that I might take a tiny, tiny bit off this edge. We're talking about like a 32nd of an inch, not 32nd straight. And that can go on there. Now, that looks good to me. So, that's that bit. Now I need to do the same for this side, and that's using this piece. So I'm going to cut this bit off on this line. Ow, stuck that down my finger. And then we will pop that on there. And again, we'll draw around this piece. So that's all right. Okay, let's have an idea where this comes to on here. So if I sit that in there, I just can't see that, the contrast. I can't see the contrast. Let's put that on there. Right, that's better. I can see it now. That contrast. So if I pop that on there, I think possibly that could do with a bit more shaping here. Or is it that needs shaping? I don't know. No, actually, do you know what? I don't want it to make it look like it's been made in a factory. I want it to look like it's been made by a person, which it clearly has. So I'm just putting a line where the top and the bottom of that page comes to. So that when I put this bit in here, oh no, let's transfer that line. That's what I need to do. Transfer that line to this page. Put that in there. It's probably too much work going into this. So that is the top of there, and that's the bottom of there. Right, cool, that's fine. So then we are going to do this pencil line here, which takes it around here. And again, this time we're going to cut this side of the line. Move that out of the way. What am I doing? I don't know. Right, which way round is it best to cut? No, this way. So again, we're staying roughly that much inside the line, but it might be different. I might have to cut a bit more off, but better to cut more off than cut more on. Who are you calling a moron? Sorry, I had to get it in. It was like a joke that was far too tempting. You know, and it wouldn't be me if I didn't add some corny joke to it. So. Sorry if my hand is in the way. So that's that. So they're my offcuts, which I will keep for various bits. And that is going to go there. Again, it's a little bit square, that corner. It just needs to be rounded a bit more. I cannot believe, so for me it is Sunday evening. I cannot believe it's Sunday again. I spend all week looking forward to my Sunday, well, to my weekend. And Sundays at the moment are the only days I get to do any craft because life is just too chaotic for anything else. And again, I think I'm going to cut the very smallest amount off the end here. Just a sliver. No, that's too much of a sliver, Dave. There we go. Life is just too chaotic at the moment. I've got a lot going on at work. Got a very heavy workload. I'll spend my week looking forward to these days, and then we're here. So what I'm hoping is, oh no, Dave, that this will kind of marry up like that, which it does. Yes. Oh, it works. I'm not crying. I'm crying with happiness. And I'm too afraid to stick it down now. But that's how it's going to be. Now, the reason why I'm not going to stick it down is because I just want to make sure that I'm not going to ink it before I do anything. But I absolutely love that. Oh my gosh, I'm going to cry. Oh my gosh, I'm going to cry. What is wrong with me? Because it worked out. That's what I'm crying about. I just want to cut that little bit there. I don't think that's right. But other than that, oh my gosh. To be fair, this is how I am when I do a prototype on my own. So. But the pressure is a bit more on when you guys are watching, so. How silly to cry about it, but I am, so suck it up, Buttercup. That is fab. I love it. So this is what the reason why I cut this bit out. Well, I don't know where it's gone now. So when we put that on there, we're going to move this over so that it still says toadstools, because we did have to cut a lot of that, and it looks like sad stools. We don't want to be putting that on. So yeah, I think that fab. It worked out. I'm going to keep them together. In fact, let's put them in there. And I think that's enough for today. There's enough pressure. Thanks. I'll put those in there as well because that's the offcuts. I'll be coming back to it going, this doesn't marry up. I don't know why, how I thought it did. And then I'll realise. Hopefully I'll realise. I'll just tear that bit off. We don't need that. So there we go. So that is today's part of this folio. We will come back to this. We'll do some more of it next Wednesday. But yeah, if you think that it was good and worthwhile, you enjoyed it, you are proud of me for my success in marrying two pieces up, I don't know, you're happy that I cried. Well, hopefully you weren't happy that I cried, but like, I didn't cry so much, I get emotional. But yeah, so whatever. But I'm definitely going to, I think that's what we're going to have across there. We'll have nature notes across there in a similar sort of vein, because we know we've got two of these pages. Oh my gosh, what the heck? I've just yawned. Like, is that because I'm probably very thirsty? So I've got a card here that says cut on it. So I might have to leave that yawning because I can't find my cut card. Anyway, so there we go. So we have come to an end of another video. Like I say, I hope you enjoyed that. Please do come back for more, because I will be doing more of this, and we will be decorating every panel in a similar sort of way, and probably not that much pressure with all the rest of it though. But there you go. So thank you very much for watching. My name is Dash of Dave, and you know what? I don't know whether you know this, but I love you all, without exception, until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to. Make sure you give this a thumbs up, and make sure you come back for some more crafty fun with me. So I will see you in the next video. Lots of love from me. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Lots of hugs. And I'll see you very soon. Bye. Bye.